Hello, fourth graders. It's Mr. Wong checking in with all of you for Reader's Workshop today. Our quick mini lesson is on the topic of illusions, all right? So before we get started on what an illusion is, we're going to go over your task today. So for Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, your task is to read Hercules' Quest in your Benchmark Unit 6 booklet. I believe it's page 22 to page 29, so it's a pretty long read. But I think all of you will enjoy it very much. And also, after you are done reading your short read, you're going to be taking a quick quiz on Google Classroom. And one of the questions will be related to this topic that I will be discussing with all of you today. So please pay attention. If you need to refer back to this video when you're taking your quiz, that is fine. All right. So our learning goal today: I could recognize words, phrases in a text that allude or refer to mythology, history, or from classic work from literature. So, what is an allusion? So, an allusion is a reference to a famous person, place, event, or another story. So, there's an example sentence over here I want to read to you. The gold medal winner was a Cinderella story. Now, a lot of us who have been exposed to fairy tales when we were little know the story of Cinderella. Now, Cinderella is a famous classic fairy tale that many people have read or heard of, right? So, in this sentence, the gold medal winner was a Cinderella story. We know the story of Cinderella. We know that it's about a girl named Cinderella who had to live with her stepmother and sisters, and her stepmother and sisters treat her terribly and make her work and never give her anything. Cinderella dreams of wonderful things, and eventually a fairy godmother comes in and helps her go to this royal ball that she really wants to go to, but she has to come back by midnight, right? She meets the prince and they fall in love, but Cinderella has to leave before she tells him who she really is. She loses her slippers as she runs away, and the prince picks up the slipper. He searches for her and eventually marries her, much to the surprise of her stepmother and sisters. So, that was just a quick summary of Cinderella. So, the point of an illusion is that sometimes we are able to refer back to a famous story, a famous person, or a famous place to express a meaning. So the gold medal winner was a Cinderella story. Now, the word Cinderella story, we know what the story is about. Therefore, we know that it's probably, the gold medal winner experience, being treated unfairly in the beginning of his or her life. And sh- all of a sudden, at the end, something really good happened. And we know that because we can refer back to the story Cinderella story. All right. So that's what an illusion is. It's a reference to a story, a person, a place, or an event, and it helps us understand what it means just by using the words Cinderella story. All right. So I'm going to go over another example with you. I'm going to show you a quick video.
Sometimes my dog is Dr. Jekyll, but other times he is Mr. Hyde.
Why does the man refer to a well-known character when describing his dog? You remember the story of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, right? Dr. Jekyll is kind and friendly, but sometimes he turns into Mr. Hyde, who is violent and evil. By referring to Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, the man can quickly illustrate his dog's personality. This is called allusion. An allusion is a reference to someone or something commonly known from literature, history, religion, or other areas of culture.
So I'm going to pause right there and I'm going to talk about the word commonly. This is very important with illusions because readers and writers have to know what these references are about. So if you are writing about a topic and you're referring to a character that not many people are aware of, then the person that's reading it would have no idea what you're saying. So allusions usually writers refer to someone or something commonly known, something that's really popular, like Cinderella, for instance, right? Cinderella is super duper popular. Everybody knows that story, that fairy tale. Therefore, the writer used that as an illusion for you to understand that this gold medal winner experience was very similar to Cinderella's story. All right, so that's what an illusion is. So, what are some examples that we've read in class that we can allude to? So, the Midas touch. Remember, there was this king. His name was King Midas. Everything he touched turned into gold, right? So we know that in that myth, that the king was able to turn objects into gold. Therefore, it seemed like he was very lucky. He was able to create objects into, gold. Therefore, he's making money. So just by hearing and seeing the words the Midas touch, we can instantly refer back to, oh, I remember, it's about this king who changed objects he touched into gold. Therefore, he's will be rich, right? So just by hearing and seeing the words the Midas touch, we can allude to the fact that this is sentence, or this whatever we're reading is about uh, the ability to make money or to have great luck. Okay. Now another example that we read, Pandora's box. Remember this girl? She was told by Zeus, I believe, to not open this box, but she was super duper curious, and unfortunately she opened it, and all the evil came out from the box because of her action, right? So when someone says Pandora's box, you would understand that, oh yeah, it was about this girl who opened this box when she wasn't supposed to. So an example sentence I'm going to share with you, this sentence is not talking about the myth Pandora. It's just a sentence that uses the illusion Pandora's box to help us understand what the sentence is trying to let the readers know. The boy had no idea of the Pandora's box he opened by bringing his cell phone to school. So in this sentence, the writer decided to compare the boy's, the boy bringing his cell phone to school as being a Pandora's box, expressing that, oh man, like he was tempted to bring the cell phone to school, and he brought it, and he had no idea what kind of disasters will come because he brought the cell phone to school. So we're using a reference to mythology or a classic, very popular story to help us express this sentence and to express the meaning behind it. Okay, so that's what an illusion is. You're taking reference to a famous person, place, event, or story to help convey a meaning. Okay, so your task today, you're going to identify what the illusion Herculean refers to after reading Hercules' Quest in your benchmark book. Okay, so after you're done reading Hercules, you're going to ask yourself, all right, what is Hercules like? Like, if you see that word, what do you think it may mean, just based on what he does in the myth? Okay, so Hercules is a very famous myth. A lot of people know the story. There's a movie created after the myth. So it's a very famous story, or myth in this case. And a lot of people refer to it. And a lot of people like to use the word Herculean whenever they're writing. So you're going to figure out what it means after you finish reading Hercules Quest in your Benchmark Unit 6 book. Okay? All right. So if you don't understand what an illusion is, just remember it's a sentence that uses a word or a name or refers back to a famous story that you have read, and it helps you understand that sentence, and it helps you imagine what's going on because you already know that reference. Okay, so that's what an illusion is, boys and girls. If you have any questions, you may go back and rewatch this video. All right, okay, good luck on your quiz. Peace out.